Hello students, welcome to the next session of pharmacokinetic, that is a presentation on distribution. In last video we have discussed about the absorption, that is the first pharmacokinetic property, and in this video we are going to discuss about next pharmacokinetic property, that is a distribution. Learning outcome of this video is students should be able to define distribution, explain factors affecting distribution, explain plasma protein binding, and discuss blood brain barrier and placental barrier. To produce any desired effect, it is necessary that drug should be reaches at the site of action. And to reach the site of action, it is necessary that first a drug should get absorbed, distributed within the various body compartments, and it should reaches at the proper site of action. After absorption, a drug passes through various body fluid compartments, which include plasma compartment. Interstitial fluid compartment means compartment between two cells. Transcellular fluid compartments means within the cytoplasm, and cellular fluid compartments means within the cell. After absorption, some drug diffuse through the cell membrane, some remains on the membrane, and also some others are distributed in the cellular fluid. Certain drugs are bound to the plasma proteins, while some others remain in the extracellular fluid in the free state. Some drugs are also stored in different tissues of the body, including bones, liver, fatty tissues, etc. And only few drugs remain in the blood plasma. So distribution is necessary to study, and it is defined as it is a passage of a drug from the circulation to the tissue and site of its action. The extent of distribution of a drug depends upon the lipid solubility of that drug, ionization at physiological pH, at what extent that drug should bind to the plasma proteins, distribution within the tissue proteins like fats, and has the ability to crosses the barriers of the body like blood-brain barrier or placental barrier. Also, diseased condition like congestive heart failure, uremia, cirrhosis also affect the distribution process. And during distribution, movement of a drug carries until the equilibrium between unbound drug and in plasma and tissue fluid does not get achieved. What is plasma protein binding? After accessing entry within the blood, drugs having ability to bound the plasma proteins. So, the phenomenon of complex formation between the drug and plasma protein is called as a plasma protein binding. The extent or order of binding of the drug to plasma protein is albumin, alpha 1 acid glycoproteins, lipoproteins, and globulin. Means majority of a drug bound to the which plasma protein, that is the albumin. The drug which bound to the plasma proteins are generally not exert any pharmacological action. They are pharmacokinetically and pharmacodynamically inert. Bound drug is always equilibrium with the free drug. Means there is always equilibrium with the bound and unbound drug. And bound drug are slowly dissociates from the plasma proteins and ready to produce the action. Here, bound drug does not have any action, and only few drug, free drug is only available for action. Now, let us discuss the clinical significance of plasma protein binding. Plasma protein drug complex forms the reservoir in blood. That is, it is a temporary storage for the drug because bound protein is not available for action. Those drugs having high plasma protein binding affinity, they having the longer duration of action because bound fraction is not available again for the metabolism. One drug can bind to many sites of the protein, or two or more drug can bind at the same site, which results the displacement interaction. Means drug having greater plasma protein affinity displaces drug having weaker affinity. Here we have mentioned some examples. There is interaction between salicylates, sulfonylureas, indomethacin. Salicylates displaces these drugs, sulfonylurea, indomethacin, phenytoin, warfarin from binding site and increases their level within blood plasma. After the plasma protein binding in our body, there are some barriers are present which also affect the rate of a distribution. In human body, there are two types of barriers are present. Blood-brain barrier and second one is the placental barrier. Placental barrier is present in the woman. Blood-brain barrier, as name indicate, it is the barrier between the blood and brain. What is the difference between general blood vessel and the brain blood vessel? General blood vessel, here endothelial cells of a blood vessels are loosely connected. They are having the pore channels through which water soluble drugs are easily accessed within the blood vessel. But in case of a brain blood vessel, here there are endothelial cells are tightly closed, and there are no pores, no gaps. And again, these endothelial cells are covered by the glial brain cell, that is a nervous tissue, and forms a one barrier is called as a blood-brain barrier. So it does not give access to the water soluble drug. It only gives entry to the lipid soluble drug because this barrier is a lipidic in nature and only highly lipid soluble drugs enter to this barrier. So blood-brain barrier is a lipoidal in nature and does not give entry to non-lipid soluble drugs like amikacin, gentamicin. Only lipid soluble unionized drug can penetrate this barrier and having action on the central nervous system. Means point to remember here, drugs those acting on central nervous system, all these are drug are lipid soluble in nature. Second barrier is the placental barrier. It is present only in woman. As the name indicate, it is a barrier between mother and fetus. As like a blood-brain barrier, it is also lipoidal in nature and only access to the entry lipid soluble drugs and does not give entry to the water soluble drug, that is hydrophilic drugs. But though it is lipoidal in nature, but it is an incomplete barrier because it is called as incomplete because though if we administered large quantity of water soluble drugs for prolonged duration during the pregnancy, this what even that water soluble drug having chances to cross this barrier and get effect on the fetus. Due to this reason, generally drugs are cautiously or precautiously administered during the pregnancy period because it having the chances to affect on the fetus. For example, thalidomide. Tissue storage is also affect the rate of distribution. Certain drugs having capacity to get accumulate within the specific organs. For example, within the heart and skeletal muscle, digoxin get highly concentrated. Similarly, in kidney, digoxin, chloroquine get accumulated. Brain, chlorpromazine, isoniazid, acetazolamide having higher concentration. Whereas in bone and teeth, antibiotics like tetracycline and heavy metal having chances of higher concentration. Now time to summarize. In this session we have discussed about what is the distribution of drug, that is the circulation of the drug within the various body compartments, body tissues and at the site of action. Factors affect the rate of distribution, that is various body compartment, barriers, plasma protein binding, etc. We have also discussed about the what is plasma protein binding and what are its significance, and discuss about the how barriers of the body affect the rate of a distribution, that is the blood brain barrier and placental barrier. Thank you for patience listening. Happy learning.